Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show. I'm your host, Erika, and today I have Jill Barclay joining with me of the Jill Barclay Group. She's been making some serious moves in the real estate industry. It's so great to have you here, Jill.
Thank you, Erika. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be a part of your podcast and offer any information that I can that could be helpful to the audience.
I think our listeners are really going to love to hear your story and how you've built a team. So Let's dive right in.
Sure.
Can you tell us a little bit more, those of us who aren't familiar with you? How did you get started?
Well, I've always had a passion for real estate since I was young, but while I was in graduate school, my brother-in-law, who was a top real estate agent in the Peoria, Illinois area, he needed help desperately, SOS, because he had a couple of agents going out on vacation. One was going out on maternity leave, so he called and said, "Jill, you'd been a supervisor before of mine." And I've always loved his leadership. He is always creative, highly successful. So when he called and said, "Jill, will you get your real estate license over the summer? Need your help?" The obvious answer was yes. And so got my license and deep dove into helping him. At that time I had no training. He literally would write a legal notebook. He'd fill up most of that notebook every morning of things and tasks that I had to complete. I had no idea what I was doing, Erika, but I learned quickly with a lot of phone calls to him, a lot of questions at the time to some of the office staff. And there I was. It was an eye-opener. It was hard because he is so fast with his volume and had highly scaled to the pinnacle point of real estate. And so I was just kind of being drug along at first. I was his little peon licking envelopes. Internet was just coming out and we had to mail a lot of any new MLS. We get these buyer alerts now. We can send them automatically through email. Back then, we had to print off the MLS sheets, put them in an envelope, write out the address, and send them to his clients. So a lot of my mornings were of that. Technology was just starting to be used at that time. So did that for a summer and then was offered a head coaching women's basketball job at a college and a teaching position. So I did that for 15 years. It was fantastic. It was competitive. Our teams did very well because I went after the right student athletes. We were always in the top 20 of the nation, but I always had this itch for real estate and this desire to go back to real estate. So I knew in 2009, I was in Great Bend, Kansas, in the middle of nowhere, one stoplight, one movie theater, I think a few different restaurants, maybe a few different gas stations. I thought, you know what, if I'm going to go into real estate, because I didn't want to be there. Even though we'd won the conference, I got Coach of the Year, it wasn't an area in the middle of Kansas and in the middle of farm fields that I wanted to be. Great people, but I thought, if I'm going to change.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I had some job offers. I'm going to do real estate now. And so in 2009, we know what the market was like, right? The market was from 2004 and 5, the highest listing prices up to that point in America. 2008 and 9, we're starting to see the crash of real estate. And so I thought, if I'm going to do real estate, now is a better time as any, because if I can be successful in 2009, I know I'll be able to be successful. Called the managing broker that I'd worked at previously with him and told her I was coming in 7 months. I showed up in May, and I ended up that year getting Rookie of the Year, but it was just because I just worked. I think I was so scared that I wasn't going to be successful that I just ultra hyper focused on just contacting people. And then I was highly coachable. Whatever someone successful had done previously, and if they just told me one little thing to do that day, I would implement it and just do exactly what they said. I wasn't trying to reinvent the wheel. I just wanted to emulate what they were doing that seemed to be successful at the time. So that's what I did, and it worked. But really just, it was a numbers game in 2009, just talking, because there's so much inventory on the market, unlike now in comparison, that, I let a lot of times my investors teach me, my own clients teach me. And then I was just aggressive with just following up, making sure that my people got into homes. And so that year after that, I realized this is something that I could do forever, as long as I wanted to, because it was very similar to basketball. It was very competitive. As you know, the real estate market's crazy, cutthroat competitive. But I needed that because I was coming from the basketball, all those years of coaching. I needed that fire. So that's how I got started. I don't want to look back at, what could have been. So I'm just very appreciative that I have the life and the business I do now.
That's awesome. When it comes to Jill Barclay Group itself, tell us more. What markets are you guys focusing on, and how did you build your incredible team?
Thank you so much for asking that. So we're in Peoria, Illinois, and we focus within, I would say, 45 minutes to an hour, just depending on who the client is, radius. So there's about 10 to 12 different cities that are in the Peoria metropolitan area. We have a river that divides most of those, and there's about an even amount on each side. So we really focus it's dead center in between St. Louis and Chicago. So 2 hours north to 2.5 hours north-south. So we're right in the middle. And then in our area, because we've been spoiled, when you've seen over the years, sometimes the Southern Belt, the East Coast, the West Coast, you see those markets hit harder with either a depression or, inventory or foreclosures. We've been isolated because we're really part of the transportation hub. So we've had a better market, I would say, over the time, and it's given us more opportunity. But the group got started not because I initially wanted it to, but I had some vendors and contractors that I had worked with when I was an individual agent for many years that kept asking me, hey, let's form a team, let's do a team. And I just didn't have time because I was so busy trying to wear the hat of a listing agent, marketing manager, compliance manager, closing coordinator, go out and show homes, but you can't effectively as an individual agent, in my opinion.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
And most, as an individual agent, if you're going to do high volume, you really need systems, operations. So I allowed a couple of those folks that had been asking to form a team to come in and try it out. And I haven't looked back since. It was the best thing I ever did because I was able to finally really just focus it gets crazy busy, on a daily basis. But I was really able to focus on having someone focus on closing, coordinating, someone focusing on marketing, someone focusing on listings and the marketing of listings, and then someone focusing on buyers, and there's marketing with buyers. So there's a lot of different hats that we were able to have leverage now with forming the team. So first, second, third, I've been privileged to say that Jill Barclay Group, with everyone involved, we've been voted America's best of the best, top 1.5% of the nation, those things. That's what I'm proud of, because it's not me. It's just the name. I could care less. When we developed the name, I could care less what the name was, but because I had been in real estate, they wanted to piggyback off of that for the previous clients that we had previously. So we went to Jill Barclay Group. I could care if it's John Smith. I could care less, right? But I've been fortunate that when we've had people come on, like Stephanie Miller, she graduated right from Bradley University, came right into the Jill Barclay Group. I tried to tell her to go interview at other properties, and then she came back a month later and said, that's it, I'm doing real estate. And she does an incredible job. Shelly Cox, she worked at the Dunlap schools. I recruited her, and now she's been with us for almost 9-10 years. Stephanie, 10 years. And then, so she does the inside sales associate position. And then Sherry West, she's been with me for over 10 years. And she was one of those contractors that kept calling me for 2 years. I tried to send her to other teams saying, hey, go interview with them. I'm just too crazy busy. And thank God she didn't do that, because that would have been the worst thing in the world. But they're all very different. So the four of us, plus some other folks which I'll talk about, we've all, as real estate agents, they're now senior partners. They're now making just as many decisions. We all get together. We have great chemistry. When there's something we're thinking about doing, I talk to them because I trust them. So I get to come to work every day with the best people literally in the business that I trust with my life. I trust with my kids. It's just something that I personally have not seen at any other real estate office. And here's what's special about that. When we have a new person come onto the team, like Mary Tisdale, who delivered both of my children, but she was in medicine 30 years. Mary gets not just me. That's usually what it is with team leaders, right? She gets Stephanie Miller, Sherry West, Shelly Cox. These are high volume producers over the years that are able to share their wealth of knowledge. And there's no other team in our area that, if you look at all the experience, that has the experience that the Jill Barclay Group has. And so, if I'm looking at coming on to real estate, I want to be where someone's been there and done that before. And they all do something better than I do. Sherry does something better than me, Stephanie and Shelly, and then, Nikki Renditz.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
And it humbles you when you know that you have what you have not heard anyone else has in the market. And they all do a great job. There's great agents in our market, but no one has the experience and the knowledge that our team has. So I'm grateful. That's how we started 2015. They all started calling, and we all started forming a group, and I deep dove into hundreds of thousands of dollars of training just to better understand how a team should operate. So we have a system for everything. And we're so hard on ourselves because we always tell ourselves, and we always talk about, how can we improve our system? What can we do to make our system better? But that's just the people I work around. They always want more. They desire more. And they're always challenging themselves in the group and try to think of ways to enhance what we do as Jill Barclay Group. And that's just really just to serve our clients.
I love it. So with the team that you've built and all the experience that you had, I'm sure you have a story to share. Every agent and investor has had a moment where things got maybe a deal that went sideways, or you had to pivot and change your plan or strategy really quick. Can you share a moment like that?
I have a ton, but I have a fun one. I have a fun one with a happy ending. So we were under contract for sell by owner that we had worked with before. He called and said, hey, can you help us do the paperwork? We already have a buyer. They're friends of ours. They're a couple, they're separated, but they seem to keep coming back together. So they want to buy our house and they want to buy a house together, even though they've been separated together. So during the loan process, the lender calls me and says, Jill, they have to be married. And I was like, what do you mean they have to be married? I've never heard of this. And they said, well, the type of loan product that they have to be married. They have to be married. They both just can't buy individually. And I thought, well, I don't know if they're going to get married because they've been separated together, but now they're living together and they have kids. So I called the client and the client said, well, I guess we could get married. We plan on being together anyway. And I'm like, you don't get married because of buying a house, right? So they found out that I married my sister, which I fixed my sister up with her husband, and they asked me to marry him, which I thought was hilarious because I'm not a minister or pastor. So I was like, hey, how can I go online and pick up a certificate to share at the courthouse? So that's what I did, literally a 5-minute certificate. But they had known, they said, Jill, will you just marry us? And I thought, this is the craziest, most outlandish thing. So I said, I will. I don't have really the experience. You might want to hire someone that knows what they're doing, but I need to check with your lender. So I called the lender. And I said, look, they're asking me to marry him. I married my sister. I didn't know what I was doing. I just did it because they wanted me to, but, I can. And I just want to make sure underwriting's okay with it. They're like, yeah, hurry. Yeah. Get him married. Hurry up and get him married so we can get this to close. And I thought, this is just ridiculous at every level. This is ridiculous. So I remember I called them and said, okay, I'm busy, but I can do a Sunday after my open house. So I remember I was in, Germantown Hills, and I had to drive about 20 minutes. And I remember I stopped in town right before I married them in their backyard of the house that they were buying by the pool. And I remembered on the back of an envelope, I wrote down the vows of what we were going to say, and then literally went over to the house.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
But what I was elaborating on is the one thing that will never change is the relationships that we build. AI cannot replace that, but AI can help with scaling and consistency. And those agents that don't adapt to technology that is ever evolving and changing are going to be those agents who are left behind, unfortunately. So as a group, the Jill Barclay Group, we always adapt. So our fear for us would be if we didn't, because we would not scale, we would not be as efficient, and technology and AI helps with all of that. So you're going to hear a lot of things over the next few years about how AI is helping real estate and how it's not helping real estate. But if you don't evolve with it and jump on that bandwagon of learning, then you will not be as successful moving forward in the future. So we want to definitely combine our old classic traditional relationships that no matter what throughout time, that will keep a stable, healthy, positive real estate group moving forward. And then we want to twist and conform with the AI, the technology that is changing to help us scale. So technology, relationships combine, and it's a killer.
Yes, I love that. I think that's an excellent approach. Jill, thanks so much for coming on. Before we wrap up, if someone wanted to reach out, connect with you, what's the best way for them to reach out and find you?
You know, the best way to do that is call 309-634-1118. That is my personal cell phone. If I do not answer, which a lot of times I don't when I'm in a appointment or with a client, text me 309-634-1118 or go to our Jill Barclay Group Facebook and message us there. We constantly watch messages coming in, but really I feel like I'd rather visit with someone if they need help with a referral in any other area. We're happy to help with that. If they have someone relocating to Peoria, which we have a great hospital system in Caterpillar, we always have folks that are relocating here. We'd love to help them. We will be transparent. We pride ourselves in educating the buyer just as much as we are in the process, so they have a keen understanding of step-by-step purchasing or selling their home. But I just want to tell you, Erika, thank you so much for having myself and allowing the Jill Barclay Group to have a platform to talk about our group and maybe what we can do to help others that want to get into real estate. If you want to get into real estate, please contact me. Or if you want to sell a home or land or acreage, just contact me.
Thank you, Jill, and thanks for doing things the right way in the industry and inspiring others.
Thank you, Erika.
We've got more conversations like this coming up with agents who are out there building real businesses. Make sure you're subscribed if you enjoyed this show, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.